What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening, dude? Happy Monday.
You know, we were just mentioning the state of Battlefield, and I've actually gone back all the way to Battlefield Hardline now. So I'm making my way through all of them that do not start with a number 2.
What? Yeah.
Although Modern Combat 2, I would go back.
Yo, dude, it's a funny journey we sometimes play in this game. Man, oh man, dude, but
some ups and some downs.
Well, we got a lot of ups on today's show where everybody can join us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Coming up on today's show, Skull and Bones has been rated by the ESRB. So when's it coming out, Scott? We got that to talk about today as well. Could we see Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Nintendo Switch? Oh my goodness. That was a puzzling. That's a head scratcher. Our 343 Industries bringing microtransactions to Master Chief Collection, Scott.
Oh, that's exactly what we need.
That is, well, get ready for it. Let's get into it. It's now Skull and Bones has been rated by the ESRB. Comes from Jordan Midland over at BGC. Following earlier ratings in both Brazil and South Korea, the long in development game, which is planned to release before March 2023, according to Ubisoft, has been rated M for mature in the regions covered by ESRB. Ubisoft will finally reveal an online pirate game next month. It's been claimed in a recent report. Scott, I got some a small little tidbit of info this morning that told me to pay attention to Skull and Bones for next week.
Oh, that's exciting.
Isn't it? It kind of, man. But let's get back to the article, then we'll get into the whole discussion of where we think this is going to land. According to the rating, the game is deemed M for mature due to the inclusion of blood, strong language, suggestive themes, use of drugs, and violence. The rating is also reveals that the game will feature in-game purchases. Shocker. Although this can cover anything from full DLC packs to microtransactions. I'm gonna go with that one, Scott. Well, Ubisoft.
Now, can I get a certain assassin at the helm?
Oh, dude. Well, yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Kenway's got to be in there some way, right? He's got to have some tie-in. That's the whole premise of where this game came from.
I'm hoping so.
All right, Scott, let's get into it. What is your thoughts on, okay, so I was told to pay attention next week. All right. So I'm
that
guessing
has to be something.
Well, I'm thinking there's got to be a reveal trailer coming out. Like, we've also heard rumblings of Ubisoft talking about their Ubisoft Forward event too, right? That's supposed to be coming out sometime soon, where this would be a good spot to showcase that, right? Like, lead off with Skull and Bones. We know we've been gone for almost a decade. Here we are. Not quite a decade, but still.
Oh, almost there.
It feels like
we
it,
were
right?
thinking by the time the game released, it would be about a decade. But
man.
Hopefully not. It's looking more positive than that. You know, the ESRB rating is a big step. That makes a lot of sense if it's launching sometime in this year, even. Yeah. But there was a big missed opportunity here. They didn't rate it R for swashbuckling. That's what I would have done.
That's wrong. Dude, when do you think we actually get the game?
I'm hoping for holiday this season. Otherwise, we do get into that normal push zone of maybe January, February. But I'm really hoping they're going to try and beat that push for holiday.
I think it's the summertime. I think it's at near the end of summer is when we're going to see this. We're already into the end of June. It's almost July at this point, right? I think we get this. Dude, this is what they should do. Honestly, they should go, okay, here is the game. Here's our Ubisoft Forward event, right? They showcase the event. They start off with Skull and Bones. We know we've been going on for a very long time. Here's what we've been working on. This is why you need to be pumped for the game. All of a sudden, then they have a preview event. Previews go up on the same day as the event. After the event is over with, previews drop. Everybody gives their own opinion about it, this, that, and the other. We should be there. Ubisoft talking to you guys. And then from there, they drop it in like 6 weeks. It's kind of like the Fallout 4 situation. Hey, we've been working on Fallout 4, but Bethesda goes, boom, here's the game. That's what they need to do. Dude, this game's been in development for so long. It has to be done, right? ESRB now has rated the game. It's got to be finished. It needs to be finished and sent out to the public to try and recoup what we've heard is $120 million invested so far into the game. Like, man, there's a lot of money in here. So to put this in a showcase, show it off, have a preview event for the media, and then have their opinions drop, get everybody pumped. Hopefully this is a solid game, right? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Are you concerned at all about the game?
They're going to they want to try and recoup some of the hype for sure, because everybody was super hyped back almost a decade ago. So the idea of a stealth drop, although I really do enjoy that kind of a game or release, it seems kind of risky, because I think they're going to want to have all eyes for quite some time. And the major, competitor to that kind of idea would be Elden Ring. The way Elden Ring was so hyped for years and years and years, and then it dropped. I want to see the same reception with this game, but you're right. It all hinges on it being a good game.
That's the biggest thing. We've moved from you being the ship to what we understand is you are now an actual pirate character. You can customize yourself, the ship. Dude, there's so much potential here.
I think of Bout of Blood.
Bout of Blood? Oh, man, don't do that.
You had different characters for different kind of aspects of it. You kind of were the ship, but
you still manage your crew, right? You can outfit your crew in certain instances, upgrade your crew to be like, there's so many questions because we haven't heard of Skull and Bones for so long, of what they've done to readjust the game, how they fix it, how they improved it, what's the gameplay like. They built off of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Well, dude, one of my favorites in this series, like easily. It's such a great game, but then their idea at the time just didn't kind of jive with everybody else, so they went back to the ship and rebuilt it from the ground up. So we'll see kind of where we land in the future with this one, Scott. But are you worried though? That's the other side of it, right? How concerned are you for the future of this game? Does it come out, it lasts 2 weeks, and then just dries up? Hello, like Anthem, like, you know what I mean? Like certain games come out, boom, and then there's nothing to do. Is there an online component to the game? Is it single player only? How do microtransactions fit in? Does it have a battle pass? Is there a season pass? Like, what is tied in? Or are we just gonna, here, you want a new sale? Well, then go to the shop and buy that, because we know how well Ubisoft integrates that into Assassin's Creed. You want a new outfit for your assassin? Here's the shop. Here's your hex coins and blah blah blah. Oh man.
The hex coins. You know, that's something I hadn't thought about.
You're welcome.
2014.
Dude,
when I was playing Unity way back before I met you. Which is an awful timing, because I could have played the whole Unity with you. And you know what?
Absolutely.
I might convince you to do that again.
Yo, I'm back in. You want to play Unity? I'm down. Nate's got it. Joel's got it. Kyle's got it. Oh, dude,
we have a whole crew then, absolutely.
We all have it. We were playing it for a little bit there too. Man,
now,
I did like
being
Unity.
a Ubisoft title, how do you think they're gonna work in Sam Fisher? Where's he gonna pop up?
Dude, you see his mask sunk at the bottom of the ocean as you unlock a chest and just goes. The green lights flicker.
That's hilarious. You're fishing up things.
That's how you get Sam Fisher into this game. There it is. Wow. All right, Scott, let's move on. Is Red Dead Redemption 2 about to come to Nintendo Switch? What this comes from Cade over at comicbook.com. A rumor may incorporate an even older rumor about Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to Nintendo Switch. Red Dead 2 is known for being one of the most technically impressive video games out there, thanks to its massive open world, incredibly beautiful graphics, and lifelike AI. It's a very complicated game, and it's a bit surprising that it runs so well on last-gen consoles. Dude, it's gorgeous on last-gen consoles.
Yeah.
But
it is definitely a taxing, big ordeal to run.
Absolutely, right? That's the biggest thing. It's a true technical feat for Rockstar Games. For many, it set the bar for what Grand Theft Auto 6 could be on the new generation of consoles and PC. Despite how impressive it is, rumors have circulated about it coming to Nintendo Switch for a while. Man, I can't even fathom that, Scott. Many have been trying to figure out how such a game could even run on Nintendo Switch, but it seems like there's a chance that it may be revealed soon. In 2021, a reputable gaming journalist, Stephen Totillo, very reputable, stated that he heard that Rockstar Games was making Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Nintendo Switch around the same time it suggested that GTA trilogy was a real thing, and that was in the works. This all happened before the latter was announced and became a reality on the Nintendo Switch, no less. But dude,
that is surprising to me that one made it.
No, well, right? Yeah.
Of course, with it riddled with holes, but it still made it.
Dude, it is rough. There's no doubt about that. The rumor doesn't stop there, though. Earlier this week, journalist Nacho, Racuna stated that a new Nintendo Direct focused on third-party games will be airing on June 28th, and it will feature a game that's about 4 years old. If you do some very quick math, you will realize that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be 4 years old come this October. Of course, this is pure speculation, and no one should hold their breath. Well, that's just it, dude. Just take it with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah.
All right, now, this is all rumors and speculations. The biggest thing for me, dude, that'll never run on Switch. It does have
the name. Stephen Totillo's name attached to that, though. That brings a lot of credence to it. But there is going to be a mini direct, they say, tomorrow morning. I believe it's 9 o'clock our time, 6 a.m.
Okay.
Pacific time, which is quite early. I'm surprised why. But hopefully we see something about this. Regardless, I think we'll have a bit of a recap for you tomorrow. But this would be the big bomb in the room, I think, if Red Dead Redemption 2's on the way. It seems out of reach, but
dude,
Doom ran pretty well.
The Witcher 3 did not. right? Like there's that side. So, but we
yeah,
are dealing with Rockstar, and when you think that if anybody can handle a remake, it would be them. But then you look at the trilogy and go, well, maybe not, right? Like there's just certain instances where you kind of, dude, it is a magical game that I feel could only be seen on the power of last gen consoles. Now it's on new gen consoles as well. You can bring it over and play it that way, and it's stunning.
Is there any HD
Not
upscale?
yet. No,
No, I didn't think so.
no. So there's rumors of that happening too, though, right? That's the other side of it. So there's rumors of it getting HDified for the
Rockstar.
Where do you call it?
The same game again, please. In this case, I actually want it.
Well, it's
Vice City.
It looks so, yeah, man. Give me Vice City. It looks fantastic already when we're playing on Xbox Series X. Yo, dude, you can see the through the water, like on like a crystal clear little river or on the lake. You can see the pebbles through the water and the reflection and the sparkles, and it just glistens when the sun kind of hits the right angle, right? Like, dude, this can't run on the Switch.
If you've never looked into the sky while playing that game, do it.
There's so many people.
It's actually just beautiful.
I remember we were playing with Kyle, and he goes, yo, look at the lightning. Dude, the thunderstorm was off in the distance, and we could see it coming into the forefront where we were at, right? And it was just one of those, wow. Like, it just makes me want to download the game, but I've done everything in the game, so I just, I got nothing else to do, because they haven't updated the online component for about a year. And that's the other thing, what's happening there. Instead, you're going to bring it to the Switch. Through here
without the online, I imagine
dude, not a chance. Can you imagine Red Dead Online being on the Nintendo Switch? That won't work. I don't see this.
It's in 480, very simplified.
You gotta hook it up to your old CRTV. It is a magical feat that game runs on anything. It is absolutely stunning. Now we've also heard rumors of Nintendo working with the cloud. Like, is that one way? Because Dying Light 2 is supposed to be coming to the cloud for Nintendo, from what I remember.
Oh, that's crazy as well. If Dying Light 2 can run on Switch, then almost anything can, in my opinion. So that would be quite a stretch.
You have to think that's how, if Rockstar does bring it over to the Nintendo Switch, they've got to be working through the cloud technology and not actually using the Nintendo hardware, because that thing will not run this game at all. Dude, you'd be lucky to turn the game on.
That would require the Nintendo Switch Online service, and that brings some concerns to me as well.
Oh, Scott.
Can the cloud even keep up with it? I'm not sure. They don't have Stadia's server banks, I don't think.
No, they don't. But let's keep talking about your concerns, as Halo Master Chief Collection might get Spartan points. Also known as microtransactions. This comes from Ryan over Polygon. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, may be getting new microtransactions to help players catch up to old seasons.
Catch up?
What?
It's been out for 20 years.
in a new blog on Halo Waypoint 343, and I can't stop, dude. All right, hang on. All right, 343 wrote about some updates coming to Halo Infinite and the Master Chief Collection, notably, quote, season points, end quote, in the Master Chief Collection will eventually be renamed to, quote, Spartan points, end quote, and may become purchasable via microtransactions. Adding microtransactions to an existing game with existing economic systems is always a bit scary for gaming communities, but 343's intentions with this change actually sound fairly reasonable. Over the years, the developer has added a lot of cosmetic items to Halo, the Master Chief Collection's multiplayer mode, and these optional purchases will help players pick up items they want without having to grind. Quote, for players who are new to the Master Chief Collection, or who may not have dedicated much time specifically to unlocking items during the seasonal updates, or are simply completionists looking to catch the last outstanding items they need, and we are internally exploring a potentially new feature for the future of the form of purchasable Spartan points, end quote. It's noted here that 343 is only exploring this new option feature internally, and nothing is set in stone. The studio is likely floating the idea in the blog post as a way to gauge potential feedback. Dude, I'm really curious to see if there's been a backlash here, or if people are like, hey, here's cool. Well, here's the thing, right? It brings up the opportunity to have people go, I missed this cosmetic, at least I can go and buy it.
Yeah, that's still an idea that I'm not quite sure I understand to begin with. As much as I want the Master Chief with cat ears, it,
I was waiting for it.
they'd almost have to pay me for that, not the other way around. I have a hard time with 343 adding anything to the Master Chief Collection. First of all, because it's near perfect. They nailed that one, knocked it way out of the park. But
Yeah.
more importantly, what is going on with Halo Infinite? The microtransactions in that game kind of aren't. I don't think that's a positive for most people. And the way that they prioritize microtransactions versus, well, co-op in the case of in Halo Infinite, it's just I would rather see all hands on deck in more of a content manner. Are we going to get any single player additives for Halo Infinite? There's a lot of things that are much more substantial to me than a cosmetic kind of
purchase
shop. But then again, this is another whole title. The Master Chief Collection is not infinite, so it's not. I doubt the infinite room, so to speak, is empty.
No, for sure.
I would hope the majority of their manpower is put into that.
You would think majority of 343 right now has shifted over to Halo Infinite, right? And that's their main goal right now, is to get that kind of sorted out. The community is a bit of an influx with new seasons coming out, and not really sure how strong that community is. It came on strong, but dude, it really seems like it tapered off quickly. And how do they bring that longevity back? Master Chief Collection, on the other hand, still up and running, right? I think that's a big thing. So here's an opportunity now, honestly, for 343 and Microsoft to cash in. Like there's that opportunity here, and it doesn't. Is it greedy? Like, there's two sides to it, right? Is it greedy, or are they helping the players who are maybe late to the Master Chief Collection and are able to catch up with some of the items that they may have missed out on? So there's two sides to it, and you can kind of spin it either in the negative light or in the positive light. It's kind of up to you and how you see that. But there is opportunities here to go, man, that was a really cool skin. Completely missed it. I'm going to purchase that now instead, because that season, it was like 3 seasons ago, and I'm not going to get it, right? That's just not going to happen. So for me to jump back in, but you'd have to go on pretty strong though, Scott. I think if you're going to go back and look at old items, you got to be going, man, like if you, it's kind of strange. And I would love to hear the feedback from the community as to what how they feel about this little idea that 343 is working on internally, and if they would like it or they don't like it. And we'll see about the future of Halo Master Chief Collection, and more importantly, I think the future of Halo Infinite. That's where everything should be focused on right now. That's your new staple right now. Master Chief Collection has been around forever though.
They're already putting cosmetics into this game and kind of just ramming it in where it doesn't fit.
Sure.
The idea of their whole armor core situation in Halo Infinite is just a complete garbage fire. They need to fix that and make it valuable. So I get worried that it's not going to add that much value to the Master Chief Collection.
That's unfortunate.
Maybe, add some kind of out there creativity. We already have cat ears and mohawk. How about can I look like a Gundam running around? I'm playing the Gundam first-person shooter. We'll have more on that this week. But just the idea, can I be Metabee from the Metabot series? Then you might get a couple bucks out of me.
Oh, man, I don't know. Like, Halo's got such a long, beloved fan base. It's you always are on the finest thread, I think, with the community of hitting that one point that just kind of cuts that string for you, right? And you're always experimenting. What's the best way to move the game forward? What's the best way to move the longevity of the franchise forward? And they're always kind of tampering back and forth. Some things work and some things don't, right? And that we've seen that. We've clearly seen that a lot with Halo over the years, of some things working and some things just not really driving with the community, and their feedback is shown. And that's the biggest thing now with social media, is the ability to kind of voice your opinion. And you don't have to be a jerk about it, but just say, hey, you know what? I didn't like this feature. And I wonder if that's kind of how people are standing on this.
There are constructive ways to make
absolutely.
And I want to stress that's always better.
Yeah.
If you want to be listened to, then you have to come at it with a mature sense of what you're saying.
I like your style, buddy. Now let's get into what Bungie's up to, because they're suing somebody. This just comes from multiple
Suing
fraudulent
the pants off them, I believe.
Destiny 2 DMCA takedowns. This comes from Stephanie over at VG247. Bungie is suing the person behind several bogus Destiny 2 DMCA takedowns. March 2022 saw Bungie and various YouTubers hit with, even Bungie themselves, with a DMCA takedown. At the time, it wasn't clear who was issuing the takedowns, but Bungie eventually found out who the malefactor was and has filed a lawsuit. According to the file, the defender's name is Nicholas Miner, who goes by Lord Nazo on YouTube. Apparently, Miner was issued a takedown notice by Bungie on YouTube when went off the rails and eventually started targeting Bungie and prominent Destiny YouTubers. So this is just a backlash from this person, and that's what's going on. Quote, after receiving the takedown notice, Miner left his infringing video up for the maximum possible time until late January 2022, when YouTube deleted it and instead created a new Gmail address intended to mimic the syntax of the email address CSC used by Bungie's legitimate takedowns, end quote, reads the suit. Dude, like, find something better to do with your time. In February 2022, he purchased and uploaded multiple tracks from another OST, this time for Bungie's latest release, The Witch Queen. When Bungie had CSC send DMCA takedowns for this second infringement and other infringing videos on his channel, Miner acted. He registered a second fake CSC email address and began to send out a wave of fraudulent takedown notices. Man, 96 separate times Scott Miner used the fake mail addresses, claiming to be representing a rights holder for purposes of issuing a takedown under the guise of Bungie's brand protection vendor. Unbelievable, dude.
That's a huge act of spite, and that really is just going to not do anything for anybody.
It looks like they're suing for $150,000 for each of his works implicated, so it comes out to about $7.6 million. Wow, Scott, that's something else.
Obviously an ill-advised idea. I can't believe somebody would go through, and 96 times you're gonna sit and do this too. Like, I'm not sure I've opened my personal email that many times this year.
Dude, that's just it's mind-blowing to think somebody can be so manipulative. And,
some people get set alight and then they go to set the world on fire. Scott, I thought that's normally in a personal manner.
We're gonna wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/theofficial-ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.